Dr. McGee, please.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus.
Yes.
Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to seal the closed session minutes of July 15th, 2026. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, and Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee.
Chairman Bourget.
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke.
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus. Mrs. Costa.
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
I just report that there were no votes taken during the closed session. Would you please stand with me for the moment of silence and the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We begin this evening with good and welfare. And so for anyone addressing the school committee during good and welfare, please begin with your name and address. Your comments shall be no more than 5 minutes of speaking time and should be in good decorum.
Good
Please be
evening.
aware that the committee cannot respond to you during good and welfare, but may direct you to an appropriate member of the administration team or may meet with you directly after the meeting for further discussion. I see someone at the mic. Mr. Mike?
Good evening, Woonsocket School Committee, the community of Woonsocket. Mr. Mike, Woonsocket Department employee at Governor Polthea Elementary, my second home, 420 Robertson Street. I'm just here this evening just to give the light of what kindergarten paraprofessionals do in a day, just because you guys might not know what we do if you never came to spend some time, like in room 219 at Polthea. But kindergarten paraprofessionals, we assist classroom teachers in managing classrooms of 5 and 6-year-olds. Our duties include reinforcing academic lessons, supervising play and transitions, and tending to the physical and behavior needs of the students. Kindergarten paraprofessionals, we frequently pull aside small groups of students to practice reading, math, and those fine motor skills. Paras often help kids navigate sharing, conflict resolution, and following the classroom rules. For students with IEPs, they may implement specific behavior intervention plans and collect any daily progress data. In addition, we prepare daily materials, organize supplies, and we help maintain a safe, sanitary, and structured environment. We assist with personal tasks such as tying shoes, opening lunch boxes, managing bathroom needs, frequent trips to the nurse's office for injury or illness. We ensure each child gets on their correct bus daily at the end of the day, which is a challenge in itself. In reality, without paras, one teacher cannot meet the needs of 25 5 and 6-year-olds as effectively as they could with a properly staffed classroom like we do in our pre-K classrooms. Paras are one of the least paid employees in this district, and we do more than anyone can possibly imagine. Without our paras, our schools wouldn't make it through a day. Eliminating K paraprofessionals compromises classroom safety, degrades the quality of instruction, and it's an unsafe adult-to-child ratio. A single adult cannot safely supervise a room of 25 children while managing bathroom needs, sudden illnesses, or behavioral meltdowns. Teachers must rely on whole group instruction, causing advanced students to fall behind and struggling students to not get the support they need. Please reinstate our K paraprofessionals. Our kids are counting on you. If I have 2 quick moments, I want to quickly just share a pledge of responsibility for children. It's by Ina Hughes. We accept responsibility for children who sneak popsicles before supper, who erase holes in math notebooks, who can never find their shoes. And we accept responsibility for those who stare at photographs from behind barbed wire, who burn down the street in a new pair of sneakers, who never counted potatoes, who are born in places that we couldn't be caught dead, who never go to the circus, who live in an X-rated world. We accept responsibility for those who bring us sticky kisses and fistfuls of dandelions, who hug us in a hurry and forget lunch money. We accept responsibility for those who never get dessert, who have no safe blanket to drag behind them, who watch their parents watch them die, who can't find any bread to steal, who don't have any rooms to clean up, whose pictures aren't on anybody's dresser, whose monsters are real. We accept responsibility for children who spend their allowance before Tuesday, who throw temper tantrums in the grocery store and pick at their food, who like ghost stories, who shove dirty clothes under the bed and never rinse out the tub, who get visits from the Tooth Fairy, who don't like to be kissed in front of the carpool, who squirm in church or temple and scream in the phone, whose tears we sometimes laugh at, and whose smiles make us cry. We accept responsibility for those whose nightmares come in the daytime, who eat anything, who have never seen a dentist, who aren't spoiled by anybody, who go to bed hungry and cry themselves asleep. And we accept responsibility for children who want to be carried, and those that must, for those whom we never give up on, and for those who don't get another chance, for those we smother, and for those who will grab the hand of anyone kind to offer it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the school committee? Seeing and hearing none, we'll go into recognitions and announcements. Dr. McGee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the school committee and community. The annual free community back-to-school backpack celebration will be held this summer on Saturday, August 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here at Hamlet Middle School. The event will offer free backpacks, school supplies, health screenings, a clothing drive, also sponsored by the Woonsocket Rotary Club and community agency resource tables. Students must be present to receive a backpack, and backpacks will be distributed while supplies last. The event is hosted by St. James Baptist Church and the Woonsocket Education Department. And with that, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my recognitions and announcements. Thank you.
Any questions for Dr. McGee? Then I'll make a motion, receive and place on file the recognitions and announcements. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We'll go into the approval of minutes. I'll make a motion to approve the June 24, 2026 closed session minutes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Any changes to those? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Abstain.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to approve the June 24, 2026 open session meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Any changes to those minutes? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, we'll go to the consent agenda, and I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the consent agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Anyone want to take anything out of the consent agenda? I have one item for Mr. Perrier. For 2026-27, we have about $518,000 for the workers' compensation. Is that our insurance fee? Is that the premium? What
Yeah,
is?
that's the premium for the year for workers' comp.
Okay,
Workers' comp covers our, the Rhode Island Interlocal Trust covers our workers' comp.
Yep.
They provide our workers' comp insurance, and they also provide our general liability insurance. We haven't received the final price for that. You'll be seeing that when that one comes through.
is this going up? I would imagine, would it go
It's
some?
gone up a little bit. I think we're pretty close to our budget number, but
Okay.
we'll definitely take a look at that when we finalize our budget at the
Okay.
next school committee meeting.
Very good. Anyone else?
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Kepiscus?
I just have one question, and it's directed to Dr. Holt with regard to the homeschooling requests. Has that number gone up significantly? Because that list seems pretty comprehensive. I know it's that time of year, but it's probably one of the longest lists I've ever seen.
I'll get the exact numbers for you for next meeting, but my secretary, Vivian Rabin, has been working preemptively to try to get people to submit their requests. As you know, we tend to get them all year long, even though a policy asks for them for the school year to be in by, I think it's August 15th. But she's been working diligently and reaching out to families at the end of the school year, not waiting and asking for families to fill out their applications early. But I'll get the numbers for you so I can give you an informed, I'm not aware. I don't know off the top of my head the numbers each, if it compares to this time last year or whatnot.
I recognize that if it's being done preemptively, we're probably seeing ones that we normally see in September, October, November.
Correct.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
hopefully.
Hopefully, yes,
No.
agreed.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Dr. McGee, roll call.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Dr. McGee, would you give us your superintendent's report?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll start with personnel matters. So currently, there are 6 teacher vacancies, 4 classroom teachers and 2 support staff. And there is also a vacancy for an assistant principal at the Career Center/high school, which in fact we have for that position. A group of us are going to be interviewing a second round of interviews with some candidates tomorrow. So hopefully we will have, 2 good interviews, and I'll have a candidate that I can, recommend or offer the position to. So hopefully that will happen tomorrow. Administrator retreat update. So as you're aware, each summer we have an administrative retreat, which includes all of the directors, all of the principals, and all of the assistant principals. It's a 2-day retreat. This year we had the retreat at Villanova Middle School in the library from 8 to about 4, 3 or 4, depending on if we finished early. On those 2 days, it was on the July 8th and July 9th. As we always, when we have our administrative summer retreats, there was a lot of really good professional learning that went on, a lot of collaboration, really just sort of not the nuts and bolts of prepping for next year, but really making sure that we are all on the same page with respect to our systems that we have across the district. We talked a lot about coherence between those systems and coherence among all of our administrators in each of our buildings. We talked about the WED learning progression, our model of instruction. So we had a really good supportive 2 days. I want to just recognize Dr. Holt, who did an amazing job, really sort of putting the agenda together with the assistance of other directors. And we also had this year in trying to increase our administrators' instructional leadership. We had some of our principals who actually presented to their colleagues and to us over the course of those 2 days as well. So it was a very positive retreat, and we used to have them at the end of the summer, and this is, I think, the second summer that we've moved them to the beginning of the summer. So it gives an opportunity for directors and building administrators, a chance to come together in the beginning of the summer, and much of what we talk about and we plan can be then taken through the course of the summer, and not sort of waiting at the end of the summer, waiting a week or so until we start the school year. It gets pretty crazy at that time of the year. So again, I want to thank all of my directors and administrators, building level administrators, for a great 2-day retreat. And with that, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my superintendent's report this evening.
Just one item, and when I look at the list of the folks that, could you address the paraprofessionals that we see on this list versus the paraprofessionals that we were thinking of bringing back?
Yeah, so these are professional care assistants. So these are our one-to-ones, and in some cases 1-to-2s. So the early childhood paras are different from this, and again, as I've stated a few times now, we're going to be looking at our modified final budget the end of July, beginning of August, mainly the beginning of August, and we have a prioritized list of positions that were eliminated, and the early childhood paras are our top priority on that list. So these paraprofessional positions are different from those.
Okay. Anyone else?
And these, but if I could
Oh, go
add,
ahead.
these are specifically in IEPs, in student IEPs. So there's a difference between the two. All important, all necessary, but that's the difference between those.
Okay. I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the superintendent's report. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'll ask Mr. Notoriani to give us the technology facilities update.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So before you this evening's the consolidated report for school safety. We're in the process of conducting our facility site safety inspections with our SROs where they visit each building. And there's a checklist that's been issued by the state's school safety council or committee. So we're in the process of doing that. That's required to be done every 3 years, but we complete it every year just as a, another set of eyes versus waiting every 3 years. In terms of our communications platform, it's under school safety. We are completely done with Woonsocket High School, the Career Tech, Savoy, Harris, and Polthea Citizens in terms of installing telephones, clocks, intercom, and bells. So the system's completely up and running in those schools. We are in the process to complete Hamlet Middle School and Villanova Middle School later this month. And then the last item, which I omitted here accidentally, my apologies, is we will convert over the McPhee Administration Building phone system. That probably won't happen until during the school year. We'll be notifying. It's each office has specific numbers, so it's more of a notification process. We don't want to just flip it over and then people can't reach certain key people during the summer. So that'll be something we'll notify people and do later once the school year opens up. But that project will pretty much be done, and we'll have one universal district-wide communications platform, which will incorporate the new school when it opens in August 2027. Security camera review. So the high school campus, we need to get the lift from the fire department to get up and fix the cameras in the parking lots at the Career Tech Center. Middle school, the wiring was completed by a grant, as you recall. Cameras are in, and we're slowly starting to put new cameras in this building. It's going to take us several months because we're doing it ourselves. The facilities department's doing it. I'm not in a rush. I'd rather us take our time and do it right. So this is something that will spill into the new school year. That being said, we finished Savoy and Polthea Elementary School. While the external cameras are in place, there are some internal ones that we want to run line for and put cameras up. And again, that's all work we're doing in-house to save on money in terms of labor. As for technology, as of today, there are 76 technology work orders in the system, 55 related to technology infrastructure, 21 related to data systems and state reporting. So our technicians and our data staff are very busy with work orders, but in addition to that, our tech staff are currently working on student device updates and inventory. So they're going classroom by classroom across the entire district, ensuring that every classroom has the appropriate number of Chromebooks at the elementary level, which is 30. Then at the middle school level, they're doing an inventory to make sure we have enough for each student when they return. So as you recall, we talked about broken Chromebooks. We're doing an inventory to make sure that our process is being followed and we don't have students showing up on the first day and their Chromebook is broken or misplaced. They're presently cleaning up the network wiring closets, which is a joint initiative with the facilities department. The building officials cited our wiring closet. Some of the older closets have wiring that's in disarray, so they're cleaning it up, making sure that it meets all the code. We're configuring a new district-wide wireless network. So presently, staff can come in and join the wireless network. We're reconfiguring that to a newer system. And we're also doing a printer inventory later this summer, all of it in preparation for the start of the new school year. Data and state reporting. Our data staff are currently working on the following projects: end-of-year reporting, state reporting, Medicaid billing, the Power School conversion, and technology platform preparation, getting things ready for the start of school when kids come back and have to log into many of the learning platforms. In terms of the Power School conversion update, we're presently working on our end-of-year reporting, and the data validation has begun this week, and we're doing the comparisons to what we've imported into Power School. The conversion is still underway. We're planning a go-live process at this time. As I indicated, I think it was in April or May that we were going to renew Skyward because we didn't want to rush into Power School if we run into any issues. I'm still of the opinion that we could possibly turn it on, but I'm thinking we might want to hold off and start with Skyward and then flip the switch to Power School. We're in the conversations with Power School now about that because even though Power School said it can be done, all of our staff need to have appropriate training. And while they release online training modules, to be fair, I'm not sure how many of our staff in the summer are going to avail themselves of that. And then there's various data cleanups that we're doing over the summer. So I will have another update in August as to what the actual plan is going to be. That being said, the IEP 504 module is in process. The MLO module is slightly delayed, and the MTSS module is slightly delayed. Those are not required to start the year with Power School, but those are add-on modules that we purchased until we make a final decision. Student registration, as of today, there are 273 kindergarten registrations in our system. Facilities custodial services, while we're fully staffed, due to vacation and medical leave, we're not running at full capacity. We don't have enough subs. We have a few, and I think we have one interview coming up, but we are making do with the staff we have on hand. As of today, there are 288 facilities work orders in the system. 205 are assigned to the facility staff in-house. 83 assigned to contractors and vendors. Our facilities custodial staff are currently working on the following projects, summer cleaning being one of the larger priorities. At the high school, they clean their entire building, that team. The middle schools clean each of their buildings. And at the elementary level, we partner and create two teams, and they do go building by team, versus most elementary schools only have two custodians, a daytime and a nighttime one, and during the summer they take time off. If we don't partner them, oftentimes there's one custodian in a building to do summer cleaning on any given day, and that's not feasible to get a building clean for the start of school. The Career Tech Center, we reused surplus cabinetry from our science lab conversion we did a few years ago. We were able to move that up to the health sciences lab at the Career Tech Center. We've added on some additional countertop material from one of our vendors, and our facility staff are renovating that room. So they're painting it, and they put in all new cabinetry and storage in for that program for the start of school. And I think Mrs. Napolitano's ordered new medical equipment for that program. Elementary playground review repair. So we're currently in the process. We've been made aware of an issue at the Pothier Elementary School playground. And as a result, we were reviewing our other playgrounds here in the district. These you may recall, we had acquired maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, ADA mulch. But there has been a recent issue in one of the playgrounds, so we've had them reviewed. We have a contractor coming out next week to provide us some proposals to upgrade the playground at Pothier and to upgrade the playground at Harris and to review the playground for the early childhood program at the Career Tech Center. So that will be something that's forthcoming, possibly to the subcommittee and then the full school committee for sometime in August. In addition to that, the fire inspection reports and related repairs, building inspection reports related repairs, and the fire alarm inspections are all being undertaken during this month. And lastly, we're inspecting all of the boilers in the district. Then beyond that, the HVAC heating, as I stated previously, we have 9 HVAC rooftop units that are in need of replacement. We've started to receive quotes. We're evaluating the quotes. And in addition to that, NextGen, our HVAC vendor, has been outperforming a true full preventative maintenance program where they're going through replacing all the belts, going through every unit and many of the handlers to make sure we can do as many repairs as possible. I'd like to thank Mr. Barrier for his understanding in this matter, because the budget is tight, but he's been very gracious. I'll say that, very gracious. And then lastly, transportation. My understanding from talking to the special ed department in Durham is the ESY transportation has had a few issues, but not many, and that we continue to work with statewide transportation requests. And additionally, the data team is working with Durham on the student list for the 26-27 school year. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Notoriani. In terms of the Chromebooks, is it too soon to figure out what's the breakage and what's the replacement at this point? And how does that fit into our budget coming up?
So, right. So we're going to calculate that. That's a very good question, Chairman. We're going to calculate the breakage and the damage, and that will be a data point that I previously spoken to the subcommittee on, and it'll be reported out to the subcommittee again in the full school committee. Our approach for the upcoming school year is we're calling it the fresh start. So we're dipping into our surplus to make sure that every student arrives on the start of school with a working Chromebook. So if you damaged one in the past, if you showed back up to school the next year, you were told go get a loaner because you damaged yours. So we're doing a fresh start approach to make sure everyone's at a level playing field, because at one of our middle schools, right in implementing state assessments, one of the questions is, are you ready for technology, tech ready? And that was an area of concern at one of our schools. So the tech department, who were fantastic, Jeff and Linda and Tom and Lisa, got some Chromebook carts ready and moved them over to that building so they were able to do state testing. So our approach this year is everyone's going to come back with a fresh start, which means there should be no miscommunications with any building administrator about what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to communicate and what the expectations are in terms of if something's broken. So I think there was some miscommunications over the last couple of years about their role in the program. So just to refresh everybody, if a Chromebook gets damaged, the building administrator, well, there's supposed to be a work order that comes in. The technicians will look at it and determine, all right, this looks like it could be malicious. So for example, keys don't pop off of keyboards miraculously on their own. They usually popped off. Screens that are cracked don't just crack on their own. So those types of things, as soon as we flag that as the issue, we don't make a repair. We flag it and return it to the principal and say, please have a conversation with the student and the parent or guardian about the fact that there is damage. Please determine if it was malicious or not. Because, a student can very easily be on their desk and knock into it, and that's an accident. Or someone else could accidentally bump into you at your desk and it could get broken. There are accidents that happen. But it's up to each building administrator to assess whether or not it was malicious or accidental and make a determination and then report back to us. And then we send it on with the dollar amount to fix it. If it was determined it's malicious, we inform the principal and we inform the business office. And the principal is supposed to have an in-person conversation with the parent, guardian, and student, so they know that they are responsible with, here's what it costs to fix it, and until you do, you need to use a loaner Chromebook. So that's what we're going with this year. So we're gonna get everyone back to square one, and then there's no miscommunications on the process, and then we're gonna see how effective we are with what our procedure is here in the district.
When you say fresh start, you don't mean everybody gets a new Chromebook. You mean they're going to come in, there'll be some that'll be fine, they're going to use those? What do you mean by fresh start, and what do you think it's going to be?
Everyone's going to have a working Chromebook when they return to school
Yeah, okay.
at the elementary and the middle school level. High school,
Whether or not it's an old one coming in, that's fine,
we have,
or a new one.
so when we had the money and the repairs that we've done, we've created a surplus of Chromebooks that we have in storage.
Yeah.
So we have enough that we can accommodate
Okay,
every student so that they come in and they have a working one assigned to them. Keep in mind, every student has one assigned to them.
Right.
You should clearly know who broke the Chromebook because it's assigned to them, unless, of course, people share their Chromebooks or whatnot, and that's a building thing that they need to deal with.
when you mentioned surplus, you meant the Chromebook surplus, not the financial surplus.
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
Perrier
not
says
using,
yes.
I'm not using the tech fund for that. This is a surplus of the devices. We're in a catch-22
Okay,
because
no, that's fine.
all the assessments and many of the learning platforms are on technology.
Yeah.
So, if we don't provide the technology,
No,
you know,
I just wanted to make sure there are two different kinds of surpluses that we could be talking about, but that's fine. Any-
well, I would say there's a technology surplus in terms of equipment,
Yes,
but the surpluses disappear. So it's going to have to work this year.
Ms. Kapiskas, you had, no,
I do.
anyone else?
As far as the installation of the telecommunications in the buildings, it's already done. Is all that stuff working properly? Are there any issues or any hiccups?
I've heard of 3 clocks that aren't keeping the time out of probably, I don't know how many hundreds of clocks, because they're all centrally linked to GPS wirelessly. Aside from that, you can pick up phones. You could pick up the phone in Miss Renegaldo's office here, and you could call over to a classroom at Savoy.
So it's all working
So it's
properly?
working.
I just wanted,
It's a universal internal system. You can dial out. It's linked into 911, meets all the safety requirements. You have to, when you pick up the phone and dial 911, it tells you what building you're in and what room you're in.
excellent. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the technology facilities update. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Leclerc and Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have one item in unfinished business. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the Child Nutrition Program Procurement Code of Conduct Policy for second passage. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Is there any further discussion on this?
Second passage. Nope.
Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Go on to new business. I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the reconfiguration of grades.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Leclerc. Dr. McGee?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as we get closer to the opening of the soon-to-be George Nasuti Elementary School, we have had many meetings, many conversations within the district, as well as with the Department of Education around the grade configuration. So as we approach next school year, which will be the last full school year before we open the new elementary school, I'm bringing to the committee the my proposal for the grade reconfiguration, which would include our elementary schools and our middle schools. This would not have an effect on the high school, as the grade configuration at the high school is currently 9 through 12, and moving forward, we'll maintain that configuration. So as we construct the new elementary school, we will be establishing 2 elementary schools in the district, which will serve grades pre-K through grade 4. That would be the Pothier Elementary School, as well as the new Nasuti Elementary School. Our remaining elementary schools, and when I say remaining elementary schools, because we are closing 3, which will be Kevin Coleman, Vernon Heights, and Globe Park. The remaining elementary schools, in addition to Nasuti and Pothier, would be Harris, Savoy, and so what we would, the grade configuration in those schools would be K to 4. So pre-K would be, currently we have pre-K classes at Pothier, and our decision to open more pre-K classes on the other side of the city will be part of this, is part of this this plan. When we look at our 5th grade, the proposal is for our 5th grade and 6th grade students in classrooms would be moved to this building here, to the Hamlet building. Would be a 5-6 upper elementary configuration. So they will be using an elementary model. And the middle school would be grades 7 and 8 at the Villanova school. So, Dr. Holt, myself, and other directors have had interaction and meetings, many meetings with folks from RIDE who have graciously offered to assist us with respect to the 5-6 upper elementary, because there are many things that we need to consider as we create that configuration moving forward. There are a variety of things. So we've been sitting with them. So next year, our plan is that this information will be shared. Actually, I'm going to share this information this week with the community with respect to the official school committee approval on the grade configuration. We've had these conversations for a couple of years now. So I've made it, I've made some of these ideas and these plans public, in that we've had some conversations, but this will formalize that process. So again, I'll be getting that information out this week to our families, to the entire community, and next year we as we have the contract with Transpar, which is that the organization. I'm going to also send that out as part of this information letter to the community. We'll be looking at start and end times at the elementary, at all of our elementary schools, as well as our middle school, and looking at bus routes and redistricting, because certainly having the new elementary school where there will be students that will be redistricted, when we start. So that work has already started with Transpar. We have a small subcommittee that's been working with them, and Mr. Notariani and myself. We just spoke. Mr. Notariani just spoke to me earlier today about Transpar and information that we've already provided them so that they can create this model, as well as information that we're going to continue to provide them in that Transpar. The outlook next year is that by at least by I'm looking at by the first of the year or soon thereafter, we'll have all of the information for families with respect to start and end times, as well as the redistricting work. So again, this agenda item is just to formalize that reconfiguration. I would be happy to answer any questions that the committee has.
The one question I have is, as the fifth graders come here, have you figured out how the special ed students are going to be handled? Because now they're at their different schools, so you have different, levels of care that need to be addressed to those students. So how's that going to work here?
Yep.
Now that you're reconfiguring this building?
So our fifth grade students who will be coming to the new building.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Those services will not change for the students. So we're not going to be, changing anything. I know that Mrs. Morel has been working for months, and as has Mrs. Kapiskis, with a group of teachers and administrators looking at the special education continuum, specifically at the elementary level. Although it's gone beyond that. Certainly that work may well play into the plans for the 27-28 school year. I'm not sure, Dawn, if there's anything that you wanted to add that I might have missed.
Realistically, nothing would change much. They would have the same type of classrooms that they're in now, just moved up to the 5-6. And all the support services would be in the same building: speech, OT, PT. So anything that they have right now at the elementary, they would have here as well.
Okay. Anyone else? Ms. Kapiskis?
I would think that with regard to the special education students, I don't think I'm telling tales out of school when I say that there'll probably be a shifting of providers for sure.
Yes.
In terms of who will be servicing what students. So the students may be meeting with a different SLP, different PT, different OT, that sort of thing. And we're also looking at the special education delivery model period. So what those classrooms look like may change, and how they're labeled, and how instruction is delivered, as well as services are delivered. This committee, the special ed advisory team, is trying to build a system from the bottom up based on what we have, with the intent that we may have to shift everything. So with everything going on, I think it's just an ideal time to be addressing all those issues with the intent really to try to make it more unified as to how students are qualified for services, classrooms, those sorts of things. So I think that it's good work that needed to be done anyway, and it's just a good timing to do it.
Yeah.
But I think the only real impact they're going to see is that they're going to be seeing different faces. They're going to have a different principal.
Sure.
And different service providers. And there's going to be adjustment period. There's no question about that. There has to be. But quite frankly, it's just coming a year earlier for the fifth graders, because when they become sixth graders, they'd be seeing those same changes.
Right. Anyone else? Dr. McGee, roll call.
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kapiskis,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the addition of minutes to the elementary school day. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee?
So recently, I had a conversation. Dr. Holt and I both had a conversation with RIDE regarding instructional minutes at the elementary level. So just to sort of set a, just sort of a basic, is that students, the statute states that students have to have at least 360, 330 instructional minutes in the day. So if you recall, about 2018, there was the General Assembly at that time passed a law increasing the number of minutes for recess. So they added 10 minutes of recess. So, and that was, like one of those that we call, those unfunded mandates. So at the time, we had 330 instructional minutes at the elementary level. So what districts could do at that time, if they did not have more than 330 instructional minutes at the elementary level, is they could basically exercise discretion, which was in the Rhode Island General Law 16-22-4.2, which stated that districts at the time could use those 10 extra recess minutes as instructional minutes. So that was something that I exercised at the time, and it was approved. Fast forward to this spring, Dr. Holt and I had a conversation with RIDE as they were looking at our current instructional minutes at the elementary level. They notified us that we could no longer use those extra 10 minutes of recess as instructional minutes. So basically what we needed to do, which we've done, is we had to increase, and we have to increase the elementary instructional day by 10 minutes. So Dr. Holt and myself, we met with the union. We had conversations with the Department of Education. So our charge was to add 10 minutes somewhere. Now we have to add those 10 minutes, and in adding those 10 minutes, we have to work within the contractual workday. So the contractual workday says that teachers, and again, I'm just focusing on elementary because this doesn't affect the secondary level. So what the contract reads is that teachers would come in 10 minutes prior to the students, or 5 minutes prior to the student's instructional day, and stay 10 minutes beyond the student's instructional day. So we have some wiggle room so that we can work within the current contract. So my plan that I am proposing to the school committee, and this, as I said, we've had meetings with the union to make sure that it fits within their contract, and that we are adding the mandated extra 10 minutes to reach 330 minutes, is to add 10 minutes at the end of the day. So we're going to go 10 minutes at all elementary schools beyond the current instructional end of the day. So what does that mean? So at each elementary school, I'll just read to you when the instructional day starts and when the instructional day will end for beginning next year. So Vernon Heights, which is an early school, because we have early elementary schools and we have later elementary schools. And that began many years ago based off of the tiers of busing. Anyway, that's just sort of an aside. So Vernon Heights, instructionally, they'll start at the same time, 8:45. Their instructional day will end at 3 p.m. It currently ends, or it ended at 2:50. So we're adding those 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
So that would include Vernon, That would include Citizens, Pothier Citizens, 8:45 to 3 p.m. Coleman, Savoy is another early school, so their instructional day would begin at 8:45. Again, no change, but go to 3 p.m. The later elementary schools, which are Coleman, Globe, and Harris, start their day, their instructional day at 9:15. There's no change there. Their day would then be extended to 3:30 as their previous instructional day ended at 3:20. So it's basically the instructional day beginning of the day does not change. The end of the day is extended for 10 minutes. And it fits within the contract in that teachers in the morning would come in when the students are coming in, and at the end of the day, which is really was the real concern for myself and the union, it was so teachers would be required contractually to stay 5 minutes beyond that. Now, I will say this, while it's contractual, I can tell you that most teachers stay well beyond at the elementary level. Again, I'm just talking about the elementary level.
Right.
Most teachers stay well beyond the end of the contractual day. Elementary is different because at the end of the day, students aren't just released; they're released to a guardian, to a family member, a parent, a guardian. So it's different. And then at the secondary level, where at the secondary level, students they're released, right? They're older. So that is my proposal, which I ride. We have to submit a proposal to ride. And again, Dr. Holt and I have already had conversations with them. So this is something as well that I will send out, once the committee approves, that I'll send out to the families this week, and I will continue to send it out to families. The principals will send it out to their families as well, just to remind them of the change in, the extension of 10 minutes at the end of the day instructionally.
Any questions, comments?
No.
Dr. McGee, roll call.
Do it.
Chairman Bourget?
Yes.
Bourget?
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke?
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus?
Yes.
Mrs. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc?
Yes.
Next item is I'll make a motion to discuss and approve the renewal of certain non-union employee contracts. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Costa.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I need to recuse myself, and I've submitted a written recusal to Ms. Blaze.
fine. You'll be recused. When we look at this list, which is a short list, is it my understanding that these have already been signed?
I have them right here. No, I don't believe they, well, the committee, I don't think, they've been signed by the non-union employees, but they haven't been signed by the committee.
Okay, was this, a-
So yes and no.
is there an issue with that? And just because they were signed before we approve, because we had an administrator at the
Right.
Career Center where we had an issue
Right.
with that. Seems to me we're doing the same kind of thing.
Well, I that's a really good point, Mr. Chairman, and I will say this, that moving forward, we will wait for any signatures to go on those documents before the school committee officially approves. So yes, there was an issue in the past. So I don't anticipate. I'm very confident that this list and the duration of the years will not result in what we went through.
I know, because we're setting the stage.
But you're right. I think moving forward, they will not be signed by the employee until the committee approves.
Also, we have 3-year and 1-year contracts. Maybe you can just
Yeah.
explain why we got
Yep.
1 years rather not all 3 years.
So the 3-year contracts here, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6. Of those 6, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them are our district level administrators. And with respect to those positions, those titles, those contracts are just like a superintendent's contract, are open to a 3-year term, if you will. And each of those administrators, either I've done their evaluation or their principal has done their evaluation, and I've seen those evaluations, and I've spoken to the administrators, the principals, and we agree that 3 years are appropriate for those folks. The 1-year contracts are not administrative positions, and based off of those positions, some of them are title funded, so they're year to year, so they wouldn't qualify for anything beyond.
But how about the ones that are not title funded, that are 1 year?
Those are year to year contracts.
But I'm saying not title funded. Oh, those are the
Yeah,
ones.
they are. They're included in there as well.
Why are they, sorry,
No, please.
so why wouldn't you want to have 3-year contracts on the ones that you could? Wouldn't that make it better for finance
For them, yeah.
and them?
Not, I mean, not, how do you mean?
That doesn't really make a difference. We're budgeting year to year anyway. So based on the contract length, it doesn't really impact our current year budget. And I will always have that position budgeted pretty much regardless. So it really doesn't really impact my budgeting process at all.
I just look at it, it's, if you're an employee that has a 1 year versus a 3, I feel more secure in my position, even though every year, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Agreed.
That's the issue I have with this.
These 1-year contracts have nothing to do with the performance of those people. So I want to make sure that the committee knows that. That's just something that has historically been done with those positions. So,
Maybe it's something to look at.
sure.
Right.
All right.
Anyone else? Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes. Thank you. I'm back.
Okay, she's back. Next, I'll make a motion to discuss and approve migration of private school ridership to statewide transportation. Do we have a second?
Second?
Second by Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee, Mr. Perrier?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the school committee this evening is a notice from Transpar and the Rhode Island Department of Education. In June, the state budget included the fully funding of out-of-district private school transportation costs. What this means is we have the potential to migrate some of the students that we're transporting via Durham to statewide transportation at zero expense to the district. The state, to give you a heads up, we've already shared the list with the state. We are in the process of trying to see who, in fact, we can migrate over. But I'm looking for an approval from the school committee to continue with that process and potentially move these students to statewide transportation. Again, I don't have a full fiscal impact for you yet, but I can tell you that anybody we move over there, we will pay for them this year, and we get a 100% credit back for whatever we pay the state for private school transportation in the next fiscal year. So I think as we move forward, at the very least, this will provide a little more latitude to Durham as far as their scheduling goes, because there's less students that Durham will have to take care of. So I strongly encourage the school committee to approve this. Again, I don't have a handle on how much they can help us this year. They may not be able to help us at all, but at least we can start the conversation, and then hopefully we can shift more of these students over as the ability to do that comes up, and that I believe will put us in a little bit better shape as we move into fiscal year 28, because I think we will be adding transportation costs in 28. So anything we can do now to start to get in front of that, I'd like to work on, and that's the amount of the proposal here.
The reimbursement you figure would be in the fiscal 28 budget?
Yes, absolutely. That credit will be
That's what
budgeted.
it'll-
That's
yeah.
actually part of the state aid. You may recall, looking at the state aid, there is a non-public transportation offset That's where that money will appear when we build our budget for 28.
Excellent.
Great,
Mr.
great
Leclerc,
thing.
anyone?
Nope.
Dr. McGee?
Chairman Bourget,
Yes.
Vice Chair Burke,
Yes.
Mrs. Kepiscus,
Yes.
Mrs. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Leclerc.
Yes.
Next, I'll make a motion to discuss the renewal of Chartwell's contract. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Costa. Dr. McGee?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll take that one too. We still are in the process of doing the renewal. I was hopeful to have this signed off by now. As you may recall, we discussed this a little bit at the last meeting. The state conducted their RFP. Every 5 years, the state does conduct an RFP for food service programming. Chartwell's was selected, but they were actually selected in mid-June. So we really haven't had a lot of time to finalize the contract. In fact, Chartwell's is working with about 33 other school districts right now, finalizing their contract for this upcoming fiscal year. I don't anticipate any real major changes. The only change we're looking to make in the contract this year is we're actually going to be moving transportation and box truck management to our contractor. Right now, as it currently is, we provide the vehicle so Chartwell's can drive food around. We're looking to actually move that over to them and have them take up that responsibility going forward. It will take a few dollars off of our bottom line, our guaranteed return, but I think that's well worth the investment right now. So Chartwell's can manage that, and we can manage our limited resources as far as our vehicles go. And they are limited.
Any other comments for this discussion? Dr. McGee, did you have something?
I'm just, box truck management.
Yeah, that's
Curious about that.
that's where we're at. I don't know. You've seen some pretty big invoices come through over the year on repairing the box truck. So hopefully we'll be saving a few dollars off the general fund and shifting that expense out to the nutrition fund. It will be part of the yearly upkeep from Chartwell's. Thank you for your good observation on that, Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Burke, you have anything to add on this Chartwell's deal?
I don't.
Okay. This is a discussion, so I'll make a motion to receive and place on file the discussion on renewal of Chartwell's contract. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Costa. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Having no other items on our agenda, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:57 PM. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.